When I was about 8 years old, I overheard an interesting new word in a television programme my mother was watching. Futile. Courtesy of dictionary.com, futility is, of an action, incapable of producing any result, ineffective, useless, not successful. Attempting to force-feed the sick horse was futile. Oh, how apt. In life, knowing when to quit is as useful a skill as any. Even when love blooms in bright colours, you sometimes just have to swallow the knowledge that you're doing more harm than good by clinging on. Move on and take the lessons with you as you go. Not because you don't care, but actually on the contrary, you care a great deal. This is what's left of my housemate Noah's 2008 Ford Transit Connect T200, a vehicle affectionately referred to by most who know her as the Petri dish. In her previous life, almost 2 decades of Cornish winters, mud, salt, unpaved roads mercilessly ate away at her until there was nothing left. And the perpetual nature of working life meant that for her previous owner there was no time to lavish her with the care that she so deserved. And now she finds herself here, 2 counties over, sitting on my driveway, staring down the hollow jaws of the Reaper's car compactor. The rational human being inside me tells me to explain the circumstances as best I can, let him know that it's just not quite feasible to pour so much time and money into a vehicle quite literally crumbling into pieces in my grasp. Furthermore, driving her in this condition would be foolish, to say the least. Foolish, lacking in good sense or judgment, unwise. Yeah, this is going to be a recurring theme here. Despite my advice, he foolishly decided to do whatever it took to get her back on the road, and I foolishly agreed to do it. I suppose I'll be adding this one to my ever-growing list of times I let my heart rule my head and see, despite my insistence, that I hate this vehicle and how, at one point, it quite literally buried itself so deep into my psyche that I woke up in a panicked cold sweat from a nightmare I had about it. I formed a bit of an emotional attachment. I must confess, I think we all have. You know the old adage that dogs look like their owners? I can't really imagine Noah driving anything else at this point. Beyond that, in the relatively short time that this van's been a part of life here, it's been the source of a couple of my fondest recent memories, not that I really remember much of my recent history. I should probably get my head examined. I digress. For weeks this van sat, tyres slowly sinking, while I painstakingly toiled away, replacing piece after piece, reinforcing the structure, fabricate, cut, weld. And every day she would get a little bit stronger, and a little bit freer from her death sentence. Then came the day we finally undercoated and wax-oiled the fresh steel in the blindly optimistic hope that maybe, just maybe with any luck, the cancer won't return and snatch her from us anytime soon. Look after her, Noah. More love and effort went into this than I thought myself capable of. I ought to realign my idea of what tenacity truly means. After all, it took determination in spades to pull something like this off. I won't shy away from the fact that at one point I cried over this. The tenacity of 2 goofballs who let their hearts rule their heads and get this done. Or maybe I just put your van back together.